sense did you get of how Azimio will operate, the roles that His Excellency, the outgoing president, will play, the role that Raila Odinga will play, the role that Martha Karua will play? What sense did you get of their role without any sort of formal elective office, except, of course, for the outgoing president, who now have the role of a former president, but also of the Azimio chair moving forward?
Let me tell you, Waiga, I think one of the biggest tragedies is we missed an opportunity with BBI to introduce an office of the leader of opposition. Because then that would have been a constitutional office that would be outside parliament. Because look at it this way, these two people compete against each other. One becomes president and takes over the reins of power. The one who loses should now become the opposition leader. Officially. But there's no official opposition leader. Actually, what happens is that in the assembly, we have now a majority and a minority side. But the people within the assembly are subject to their leaders. The party leaders are outside parliament. So I think we missed an opportunity to introduce an office like that, because then we would have a leader of opposition that would be outside the house. But having said that, I think the leaders of Azimio are going to hold together and hold the government to account, because that's the only job we have now. It's either you win government or you check government, you know. So now we are going to check government, and they're going to do it together. But I don't know. I think you know, having served as president for 2 terms might be a very difficult job for him to come back and start checking what is happening. So the most likely thing he will do is that he will retire honorably. In fact, we are confused. He will retire honorably and allow us to continue doing this job and checking. So he did not indicate
sort of what role he wants to play moving forward. You got the sense he's retiring honorably and going home.
What he said is that he's a Kenyan. He said, I'll be a Kenyan, a citizen of this country, like every one of you. And so I'll be around and I'll play whatever role I can as a citizen. So he didn't indicate any position of leadership. He said he respects his leader. He's in Azimio, La Umoja, one Kenya. And he said that his leader is Raila Amolo Odinga, because Raila is a leader of he was our candidate for the presidency. So that is all he said, that he will be a citizen, but his leader but his president is William Samoei Ruto. But his leader, his party leader, is now Raila. That's what he told us. So he plays. Yeah.
Did we miss a chance not entrenching within the law the position of leader of official opposition?
It will be an interesting conversation. And I think, but even now, we still will have opposition, or what you call the minority, to check the government. And that I say because at the end of the day, even the PG, the parliamentary group meetings that Azimio will do, will always most likely be under Raila Odinga and maybe the president, outgoing president, because that is a bit confusing to us. In fact, when we saw him in Masai Lodge, we are not sure now as Azimio or outgoing president. So we are a bit confused about that. But I hope at the end of the day, because serving in the highest office in this land, Wahiga, is quite a privilege. Really, it is quite a privilege. And when we hear him saying, my leader is Raila Odinga, for me, it sounds like the same when Raila was swearing himself in as a people's president in the last dispensation. So I really hope we can close ranks and realize that we have the respect in this country. In fact, we even have constitutional entitlements for any outgoing or former president. That is not even debatable. We passed it in parliament. It is something that is in law. But I think the issue of an official leader or opposition leader is interesting to look at, and I think it is one issue we can have during this. But I think even without being that, he's a de facto, really, as it is, because even these troops in parliament vote according to what, or follow what they have been told by the same person, even without an official position. So, and I think there's a book that I read somewhere that says leader with no title, because at the end of the day, elections will actually be competitive. So it's never easy to say that you just move on or you just go on. But I think the former dispensation had a very interesting issue that you could run for president, and if you don't become president, you can become a member of parliament. So it is a very different thing that we are dealing with right now under this constitution. I think that is what Honorable Mbo is trying to say, that maybe we should think in the future to have it entrenched, because anyone is a potential leader of opposition. I mean, as long as you run for office, you can be on the other side. And I think it has happened even now, and we have seen it happen.
Honorable Robert Mbui, what next for Kalonzo Musyoka? What next for Wiper Party?
Well, Wiper Party is in Azimio, and we are looking forward to 2027. In the meantime, we'll do our job, because we've been sent to the opposition by the votes of the Kenyans, so we will do our job there. We'll make sure we check this government. We will remind them that they told us that food prices will come down. So even if it doesn't rain, they'll have to explain to us how are they going to do it. So we'll have a very interesting time in the next 5 years. But we'll do our job and make sure we do that in a respectful manner. Maybe I would like to add that, Kenya has become a country where there is a lot of insults against each other. We forget that we are one nation.
True.
And we are one family, and so it doesn't really matter. Or it does matter that my party leader wins or my party wins, but it is not a matter of life and death. If we don't win, we can live to fight another day. In the meantime, let us respect those that are in office, and those that are in office, let them also respect those of us that didn't manage.